You know, we spend about a third of our entire lives asleep. But have you ever really stopped to think about what's actually going on in your head when the lights go out? It is so much more than you think. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on your brain's secret after-hours life.
So, let's just tackle the biggest myth right up front. The common idea is that when we get tired and go to sleep, our brain just powers down, right? Kind of like putting your laptop in the sleep mode for the night.
Yeah, not even close. The reality is the absolute opposite. The moment you clock out for the day, your brain is just clocking in. It's starting its most important shift, a period of incredibly intense, highly organized work that you literally cannot live without.
Okay, so what exactly is this night shift? Well, it has nothing to do with turning off. It's all about a massive shift in priorities. Your brain finally gets to ignore all the texts, the noise, the chaos of the outside world, and it turns 100% of its focus inward to run a system-wide diagnostics and repair program. And get this, your brain, which is only about 2% of your body's weight, is an absolute energy hog. It burns through a full 20% of your daily calories. All day long, that energy goes towards dealing with the world. But the night shift? That's when your brain finally gets to spend that energy on itself, on essential deep cleaning, critical organization, and vital repairs.
So, what's first on the nightly to-do list? Job number one, and honestly maybe the most important of them all, is taking out the trash. See, the simple act of being awake and thinking all day produces a ton of toxic metabolic waste inside your head. And this is the system that does the cleaning. It's called the glymphatic system. And you can think of it as the brain's own personal sanitation crew. Its primary job is to flush out dangerous proteins and other junk, including the very same toxic byproducts that are known to build up in Alzheimer's disease.
So how does this incredible power wash actually happen? Well, for years, the leading theory was just fascinating. The idea was that when you're in a deep sleep, the actual space between your brain cells physically expands by around 60%. This creates these wide-open channels for cerebral spinal fluid to literally rush in, grab all the toxic gunk, and flush it all away.
But here's where science gets really fun. It's never static, you know? And just in the last couple of years, a huge debate has erupted that challenges this entire idea. It's actually a perfect showcase of how science works, how it corrects and refines itself right out in the open.
And this is where it gets really interesting. On one side, you have the established model saying sleep is absolutely essential for this cleanup. But then a new study comes along and finds the complete opposite, that the brain might actually clear out more waste when you're awake and moving around. A total scientific head-scratcher.
So who's right? Well, the scientific community is hard at work sorting this out, and the consensus that's starting to emerge is this. While some small molecules might get cleared during the day, the really crucial part is that sleep is still absolutely vital for getting rid of the big, bulky, dangerous proteins, like amyloid beta, that can't just passively drift away. For the heavy lifting, you still need the night crew.
But the deep clean is just the first part of the job. With a nice, tidy workspace, the brain's night shift moves on to its second huge task, information management. This is where your brain becomes a master librarian, meticulously sorting and filing away everything from your day.
You see, all day long, a part of your brain called the hippocampus is basically acting like a temporary inbox. It's just quickly saving all the incoming information, the stuff you see, what you learn, what you do. But the thing is, it's a pretty small inbox with limited space. It fills up fast.
Then, once you're in a deep sleep, something truly mind-boggling happens. Your brain replays the key memories from your day, but it does it in hyperspeed, up to 20 times the original speed. It's like this supercharged data transfer, moving all those important files from the temporary inbox into the vast, permanent archive of your long-term memory.
And the way this transfer happens is just incredibly elegant. Picture it like a perfectly timed electrical handshake. You have one part, the conductor, sending a signal that says get ready. Another part, the carrier, prepares the destination folder. And then a third part sends the actual memory, the data, zipping across. It's a beautiful, coordinated symphony of brainwaves, making sure your memories are stored safely.
But it's not just about saving memories. It's also about making space. There's a theory called the synaptic homeostasis hypothesis, or SHY, which suggests that sleep also tidies the shelves by weakening the connections that are less important. This saves a massive amount of energy, and critically, it makes you ready to learn new things the next day.
Okay, so the brain has been cleaned out, and the important files have been stored away. But there's one more profound job that happens during the night shift,
a kind of emotional first aid.
There's a model for this process that's captured perfectly by the phrase, sleep to forget, sleep to remember. The whole point isn't to erase difficult memories, but to cleverly separate the memory itself from its painful emotional charge.
And here's how it works. When something stressful happens during the day, your brain is flooded with a stress chemical called noradrenaline. This stuff acts like emotional glue, fusing anxiety right onto the memory. But later, during REM sleep, your brain creates this incredible neurochemical sanctuary. It completely shuts off that stress chemical. This allows you to replay and process the memory in a calm, safe mental space, without the anxiety.
The result of this overnight therapy session, the emotional sting is weakened. Night after night, the connection is softened. You still remember what happened, of course, but it no longer triggers that same intense, painful reaction. This is how time, or more accurately, the REM sleep within that time, actually heals emotional wounds.
So, waste clearance, memory consolidation, emotional regulation, the sheer scale of the work being done during your brain's night shift is just immense. And let me be clear, this work is not optional.
And believe it or not, we've only just scratched the surface. While all of this is going on, your sleeping brain is also regulating crucial hormones, directing your immune system to fight off infection, repairing cellular DNA, and even coming up with creative solutions to problems that had you stumped all day.
Which really brings us to this incredibly powerful conclusion from the research. Sleep isn't a luxury. It isn't a sign of laziness. It is, quite simply, a non-negotiable biological state required for the sustenance of life. It's every bit as essential as breathing or eating.
So the next time you feel your eyes getting heavy, don't think of it as shutting down. Think of it as your brain's most brilliant and dedicated team clocking in for their vital shift. It leaves you with a pretty amazing question, doesn't it? What masterpieces will your brain create tonight?